How do you make money on the market? You might not think about it the way I'm about to present it, the darker side of the market, cause market is PvP as well. As in Eve, when you lose a ship in PvP, you can get a bit irritated. But if you lose on the market, you get depressed. If you're losing a ship, it sets you back a few hundred millions. Losing in trades can set you back tens of billions, even everything. But let's start slow. How to market on Eve Echoes. I will go over all the types of trading, pretty much, both for new traders and for the advanced traders. Eve Echoes got a great platform for marketing, even though it's a bit like Wild Wild West right now. Buy low, sell high. That's essentially what it all comes down to. But how does that work really? And what items will rise? And what items will fall? How can we possibly know this? The truth is, we can't know this, but we can use some key factors and we can make a guess. I get into this a bit more later. What determines the value of an item? You probably heard of the terms supply and demand. The more stuff we have, the less value it has, and if something happens that will affect an item for good or for bad, will make that item shift in price. This can be to people don't use that item as much, or maybe that item becomes the meta. If that's the case, then people are willing to pay more risk for the item. There are several ways you can do trading, and I will break them down right here. But I will also explain which one I do. Day traders are those who trade all the time, every minute of the day basically. They might not sit around and trade every minute. The market does that for them. But they do keep an eye on the market every now and then, at least a few times a day. They change their prices to be lowest on the market to get a sale. These people often also have buy orders on the same product that they're selling on the same station. So they buy something for $1 million, and then they sell it for 1.6 million. Removing the taxes, and they might net about 300 to 400,000 on every transaction. This can also be called item flipping. Jita is a great place for this, as many items get traded every minute. This is a steady income to anyone who wants to work with this method. It's low risk and it's an okay payout, but it's also hard work. In this video I will not tell you what to buy, because that is very hard. But if you want me to talk more about this and potentially what to buy, then let me know in the comments. Another type of traders are regional traders. I talked about this in another video, but I wanted to make one video that covers everything. So here goes. Regional traders. This is traders who buy stuff from anywhere, and they sell pretty much where they think they can get the most disc from it. This type of trades needs more preparation, it needs more knowledge. You also need to fly around a lot and assess where those items could be best sold. It's a middle risk type of trading, where if your calculations are wrong, you potentially can only lose your profit, but rarely you're ending up at underpricing. This I would say is not as much work as a day trader, but it's still a lot of work. Then you got investors. This type of traders buy stuff that appears to be cheap and just keep it for the future, and hopefully it will be worth more. It can be that they're waiting for an update or maybe a new meta. Then they sell the stuff for a lot more when the demand is high or the supply is low. This is a low risk, a lot less job, but it demands some capital that you can afford to lock into items. Then there is market manipulation. I like that evil word. It goes hand in hand with investors, but with a twist. Market manipulation can be done for several reasons. Not everyone has to be bad. You might do it to force people to buy specifically your items, or maybe relocate people to other areas. This is how it's done in real life too. A new shopping mall gets built and it's got a lot cheaper stuff than the old one, so you go there. Or someone brand an item and therefore makes it more expensive, though it's the same product basically. People sell umbrellas at higher price when it rains. Summer clothes are more expensive on the summertime. Beach houses and houses close to towns are more expensive than further away. Why? Because the demand for the items or the areas are higher. And the reason can be many. It's the majority of the people that decides. The bigger question is, will it sell? So after that rant, I want to get back to the point. What manipulators does is buying up all of some item or items. Then they reprice it at a higher rate. This will hopefully make them sell a few of those items and get back some of theirs. This is a highly risky business. Doing this, you need a vast amount of knowledge. You also need to know the market, and you also need to know the people. And you also need ISK. But this can also net you with the greatest profits in the game. If this is something you want to try, then let me tell you, this is one part of market that we moguls call hardcore market PvP. So this is something that, if you don't do some steps carefully, you might lose so much that you have to start from the beginning. The factors you must know when buying up an item is: what is the item value now and in the future? How much of these items do you think exist in the game? How many does it sell? And how much do other people have? This is important to have at least a grasp idea. Because when you buy up an item and you're raising the prices, what will happen if you don't sell anything? What if another trader just saw what you did and he put his items out for sale? Are you gonna buy that one too? What if he puts out a lot? Let's say you bought everything that costs 1 million and there's no more items out. And you put it out for 7 million. And a few minutes after that, another person puts out 100 more items at 5 million. What will you do? Right then and there, you lost. You need to be aware that this happens a lot. And if you're buying his items to keep yours at 7 million, would that work with your calculations? Most of the time, this is your decision. The other thing you can do is undercut him. And do that a few times and your net profits might be gone. This is what traders do to remove other traders. They undercut you. And they undercut you until you give up. The only one who wins is the one with the most ISK or most patience. This is indeed a rush. This is why market in EVE is the best. You can choose what level you want to trade on, but in the end it's all about PvP. So let me now tell you what marketing I do. Since I don't have enough time to sit and watch the market the whole day, I can't do day trading. I do a mix of regional trading and investing. Occasionally I do some manipulations as well, but mostly on items I know I will use. So if the items don't sell, I can still use it. But what I also do is that I keep track of items and the prices. So if someone buy up a lot of items and put it for higher price, I undercut them and I make some good ISK that way. Now if you want a more in-depth video on how my trading routine is, then as always let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. I hope this helped some of you. I hope this opened up your eyes to understand how the market is, how vicious it could be. And I also hope that this makes market a bit more interesting to more people. So if you like this video, how about a like on my video? And if you want to be my space buddy, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time at Sheev's Place.